Most people hear the words Roth conversion and think it's a no-brainer. You pay taxes now, you get tax-free growth later, and everything just works out. But here's what almost no one tells you. There are 5 things about Roth conversions that most people never hear about. And if you get even one of them wrong, you can quietly trigger higher taxes, increase your Medicare premiums, and end up costing you 6 figures or more over the course of retirement. Not because Roth conversions are bad, because often they're done without a real strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what most people get wrong, those hidden traps, and how to use Roth conversions the right way. They actually work in your favor instead of against you. Now, when you do Roth conversions the right way, they can be incredibly powerful. They can help you create a tax-free income for life. They can reduce or even eliminate future RMDs. They can protect more of your Social Security. And guess what? At the end, they can leave your family a cleaner, more efficient legacy. In other words, done correctly, Roth conversions give you control. But here's the problem. Most people don't mess them up because they're careless. They mess them up because they don't realize how many moving pieces are involved. That's why I want to walk you through the 5 most common and most expensive Roth conversions mistakes that I see. Because once you understand these, you'll immediately see why so many well-intentioned retirees end up paying far more in taxes than they ever needed to. Now, before I walk you through the first mistake, I want you to pause for just a second, because this part is really important. What I'm about to show you is exactly where most people either save tens of thousands of dollars or unknowingly lock themselves into a much higher taxes for the rest of their retirement. And the difference usually comes down to timing. If you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement, this is the window where the right strategy makes the biggest impact, and once it closes, most of the options disappear. This is exactly what we help clients here at Xperity Wealth. If you want to understand how Roth conversions, taxes, Medicare, IRMA actually affect your situation, your income, your accounts, your timeline, you can schedule a conversation with us using the link below. We'll help you see whether you're positioned to do this the right way, or if a few changes now can save you a significant amount later. Now let's get into the first mistake, because this one catches almost everyone off guard. Number 1, the Medicare premium spike. Here's what surprises people. Roth conversions increases your taxable income. Medicare premiums are based on income, not assets. So if you do large conversions in 1 year, your Medicare premiums can jump dramatically 2 years later. I've seen people shocked to know that they're paying an extra $300 to $500 per month per person simply because of one poorly timed conversion. And once those premiums go up, they often stay elevated for multiple years, losing access to lower tax brackets. Another mistake I see constantly is people converting too much too fast. They hear, get money into a Roth, and they can convert large chunks without realizing they're pushing themselves into a higher tax bracket. That can increase how much Social Security is being taxed, eliminate the 0 to 12% capital gains opportunities, cause you to pay 22% or 24% when 12% could have worked. The irony, they often pay more tax now than they would have paid later. The 3.8% net income investment tax. Here's one that most people never see coming. The modified adjustment gross income crosses certain thresholds, generally $250,000 for a married couple, can trigger that 3.8% surtax on investment income. Even though Roth conversions themselves aren't investment income, they could push your investment income high enough to trigger that tax. That's an extra layer of tax that many people never plan for. So, ACA subsidy cliffs. If you retire before Medicare age, you can buy health insurance through the exchange. Roth conversions can be especially dangerous. Cross the wrong income threshold and you can lose thousands of dollars in health insurance subsidies instantly. No warning, no phase-in, just higher premiums. This is one of the biggest mistakes that early retirees often make. Destroying future charitable planning. Very important, because some people later decide they want to give charitably using QCDs, qualified charitable distributions. But once money has been converted to Roth, that option disappears. So philanthropy is part of a long-term plan. Converting too aggressively can actually reduce flexibility later. So what does the right approach look like? It starts with understanding that Roth conversions are not a one-time decision. They're a multi-year strategy. The most effective plans usually involve converting gradually, not all at once, staying within specific tax brackets, coordinating conversions with capital gains, watching Medicare income thresholds, aligning with estate and legacy goals. In other words, it's not about guessing. It's about modeling. You need to know what brackets are you in today, what brackets are you likely to be in later, how conversions affect your Medicare, and how long your assets need to last. The goal isn't to eliminate taxes. The goal is to control when and how much you pay. Let me give you a real-world example. One of our clients here, let's just call him Harry, retired at 60 with about $1.2 million in pre-tax accounts. Most advisors told him to wait, but when we ran the numbers, we saw something different. By converting just enough each year, staying under key tax and Medicare thresholds, he was able to avoid IRMA surcharges, reduce future RMDs, and shift a large portion of his money into a tax-free account. Over time, that strategy saved him over $120,000 in taxes. Nothing about his investment changed. Only the strategy changed. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Roth conversions can be one of the most powerful tools in retirement, but only when they're done intentionally. Because the biggest mistake isn't doing a Roth conversion, is doing one without understanding the downstream consequences. If you're between 55 and 70 and wondering whether Roth conversions make sense for you, the smartest next step is to get clarity. At Xperity Wealth, one of the things we help clients with is to map out exactly how conversions fit into their broader retirement and, more importantly, a tax strategy. If you'd like help with that, you can schedule a conversation using the link below. And if instead you want a more straightforward guidance like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll break down retirement planning in a clear, practical way so you can confidently make decisions and avoid costly mistakes. You can now watch the next video on your screen. And remember, the goal isn't just to retire, is to be able to do it with clarity, confidence, and control.